Hello everyone, this is Bob Price. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Accessibility and Accommodations manual as it refers to these big changes in assessment that are occurring with the new PARCC assessments this spring. Just to go over a couple of things which I'm sure everybody out there knows, the performance-based assessments are summative, as are the end-of-year assessments. One of the things we've been trying to promote is that it's not two assessments, it's one assessment given over 2 periods of time, and that schools will have a window to administer these at whatever structure they find best, which basically the PBA would take the month of March, and the end of year, the EOY, would take most of May. Just so everyone knows, the 4th and 8th grade science tests will still be taking place along with the high school biology tests. For the PARCC tests, approximately 9.5 hours to take all of the testing through the year. That's been reduced a little bit at some grade levels after the field testing because they have eliminated some of the pieces from ELA. So the interesting thing, or one of the interesting things about the Accessibility and Accommodations Manual is that all PARCC member states had to agree to the implementation of these guidelines or these rules that will have to take place in giving this. It's very important also to recognize that from the very start in designing this test, universal design was taken into consideration. The considerations for the items is based around the claim that can be made for an item. So if an accommodation or accessibility feature doesn't affect a claim, then the idea is, why can't it be offered to all students? What I have done, and I have posted this document on the Northern Valley Curriculum the Curriculum Center's website, which is nvcc.nvnet.org. So it's the Northern Valley Curriculum Center.nvnet.org, and you click on our resources tab, you'll find an enormous amount of resources related to this particular document. What I have done is I've gone through the document, I've highlighted parts, I've put in some definitions on the side that I thought needed some clarity. Any of the questions I had that I've had answered, I wrote into the document. I then scanned the document and I put it so that anyone can have access to that. So please download that if you think that would be of any help. Probably the best feature in new assessments is this idea that we can give accommodations and accessibility to all students. So for the most part, a lot of IEP and 504 accommodations will be or can be covered by the features that are available for all students. There is a smaller group, this accessibility feature with the asterisks. This one is states can make the decision, individual states can make the decision as to whether they want to offer this or not. And then finally, there of course will be accommodations for students whose disabilities demand different accommodations. That would still be part of this. An example of the things that would be given to all students are in this slide. All students will be given blank paper. I've been asked several times if that's a possibility. There'll be tools for eliminating choices. And it's interesting down there where you see spell checker or writing tools. We're going to have to look into that in the next round. But if giving students access to these tools does not affect the claim made by the question, then there's no reason not to give students this ability to answer the questions as correctly as possible. Here are there's just a few of these gray zone areas that states can make the decision as to whether they want to offer them. I think the most important one for us in New Jersey, and I hope that schools will do this, is the text-to-speech for mathematics assessments. That's a good illustration of universal design. It's saying that there is no claim for literacy, so having a word problem read to a student would not affect the claim for math for that particular question. Finally, if you go to our website, you'll find a set of resources related to PARCC, related to Common Core. This presentation, a larger 2-hour presentation on the Accessibility and Accommodation manual is there, the PowerPoints, the document I had talked about